What up, everybody? Season 1 of Force concluded somewhat like a movie, in which there were no cliffhangers, everything came to a conclusion, and all the characters had a closing moment of reflection. Tommy was having a drink with JP and Diamond. Then he was at the hospital watching his family, Kate, JP, and D-Mac all get to know each other. Claudia and Vic were at Dr. Parker's hanging a picture of Gloria and talking about they were never trusting Dad again. Walter was pouring a bottle of liquor into a container, depressed about his children not wanting anything to do with him. And Jannard was at the CBI barbershop looking at Diamond's clippers. But in the details of those closing minutes lets us know some of the storylines going into Season 2. Claudia Flynn telling Tommy that she better get ready as Liliana was taking her last breaths. Tommy also said whoever did this to Liliana is gonna pay. The description of Season 2, Episode 1 also says that Tommy had been so focused on avenging Liliana's death, he forgot about the bigger picture of becoming the biggest drug dealer in Chicago. Is Claudia Flynn's fate already sealed in Force Season 2? Much like Lorenzo Tejada's fate was already sealed in Ghost Season 3 after killing Zeke in Season 2. Or will Claudia find a saving grace? Possibly Tommy finding out that he is Claudia's cousin. Jannard looking at Diamond's clippers, in my opinion, is a sign of regret for trying to kill his own brother. And if I was putting money on it, I would bet that Jannard will be trying to make things right with Diamond at some point in Season 2. As far as Tommy staring at his family, having a good time and enjoying each other's company, he will most likely send JP and D-Mac to New York to live with Kate. Many think that Kate will be moving to Chicago because all the boxes that were in her house when Tariq showed up. But that was not the same house she lived at on Power. So I think Kate moved into a new spot, possibly a bigger place, to have room for JP and D-Mac. Tommy would send them out of town to make sure that they're safe, especially after D-Mac getting shot and JP getting kidnapped. And as far as the Flynn family is concerned, Walter will do whatever he has to do to get Vic and Claudia back under his control. He might be able to get Claude back working with him, but from the looks of the trailer, Vic might be a lost cause at this point. At the closing moments of Season 1, we were also introduced to FBI agent Stacy Marks, indicating she will be a major player in Season 2. And it also showed the Eastern District and Blanca hearing about everything going on in Chicago. This almost guarantees that Blanca will make an appearance on Force at some point. Getting me to the biggest question of the hour: where is the Force timeline compared to where we left off at the end of Ghost Season 3? We know from Tommy's conversation with Tasha that he's already met his brother JP and found out that D-Mac is his nephew. My question is, on the Force timeline, has Tommy already made his trip to New York when he intended on killing Tasha and they reconciled and when he met up with Tariq and all that? The Ghost timeline had to be at least a few weeks from where Force left off because Kate both knew that Tommy was alive and she was no longer in Chicago spending time with JP and D-Mac. At the same time, I don't think Force is going to have any kind of significant time jump because of the clip they recently released on social media where Diamond is talking to the remaining CBI crew, telling them about their territory and introducing them to Tommy. This wouldn't be something he would wait months or even weeks to do. This is something he would have to tell his crew immediately. So this makes me think that there has not been any kind of time jump on Force from where Season 1 left off. And if that is the case, Tommy hasn't made his trip to New York yet on the current Force timeline. So at some point in Force Season 2, there's a good chance that we will see Tommy making that trip to New York. Then we would get that Ghost Force crossover, getting to see Tommy's trip to New York from his perspective. This would be similar to the final 5 episodes of Power, where we got to see the last few days of Ghost's lives, and after he died, from a whole bunch of different perspectives. With that said, it needs to be done because we need to see what else Tommy was up to when he went back to New York. Because we know that he was in New York for at least a couple days. This could possibly when we see 2-Bit making his Force debut, and even Tommy stopping in to check in on Cash. At the same time, he is supposed to be dead in New York, so he might not want too many people knowing that he's alive. But at the end of the day, he was doing something the whole time he was in New York, and he wasn't staying at Kate's either. If we see Tash and Tommy reconcile from Tommy's point of view, would he offer Tasha an opportunity to come to Chicago to work with him and clean his money? Tasha's been in Witsec for a couple years now, and I'm sure she's getting bored. A move to Chicago might be needed for Tasha. Then she can meet Diamond and he could become her new love interest, if things don't work out between Diamond and Adrian, the news reporter. Tasha is also smart, so they could also use her to be one of their Dahlia cooks. At the end of Power, Ghost had left Tommy an envelope with Tommy's car all fixed up and back to normal. I'm pretty sure that was the title or whatever that was in the envelope, but that envelope was pretty thick, so was there something else in that envelope? There's also the social media post Joseph Sakura made last year, talking about finding out the truth about Ghost being dead or alive in Season 2, Episode 5 of Force. I also saw him retweet a woman's post a couple months ago, talking about she hopes that Ghost returns soon. And there's the house that Tommy bought for Keisha. Tommy owns that house outright. All he would have to do is pay the property taxes. But with him being dead, I'm guessing that house would have went to Cash, because the house was both in Tommy and Keisha's names. And there you have it. Where is the Force timeline compared to Book 2 Ghost? Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.